I'd like to start the evening with this quote. Each friend represents a world in us, a world possibly not born until they arrive. And so in that vein, I'd like to personally thank you all for arriving safely this evening. We've got a room full of fabulous people.
Exactly,
and
fabulous.
I'm so happy. Not the least of which is our featured guest speaker for this evening. And I'm going to introduce you to her in a little bit. I wanted to kind of go around first and give shout outs to everybody that's here to acknowledge you each, okay?
Who is Myra? That's a really good question. I've known Myra now through my husband, Mano, for about 6 months, and I'll tell you who Myra is to me. Myra is an amazing woman who is a great art enthusiast. She supports arts, she encourages the artists. She's an artist herself, but I think she has talents that she herself isn't aware of. To me, she's really an ambassador of the arts, a bit of a diplomat of the arts.
This is Jane Hart. She be in the house. She is the curator of exhibits at the Art and Cultural Center in Hollywood, Florida. They're going to have a booth at the Wynwood Art Fair that starts Friday. Today is Wednesday. Third Wednesday of the month. Your mama always has her musing. The third Wednesday of the month. That's important to make that point too. And I want to start going around the room and saying hello and acknowledging people. Starting with my love child, the artist Evo Love. Evo's in the house. Evo also is an artist on her own right, and she does wonderful three-dimensional, I want to say they're almost like altar-like objects that are embellished with all kinds of interesting stories and figurines, and I love my love child. I can't say enough good stuff about her.
Who is Myra Wexler?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Yeah. So now this is the test as we go around. Let's see if I get an A on everybody's shout out. Next to her is Najib. Najib is in the house, and I met Najib at Stash Gallery, and he's the proud father of 4 beautiful children who are in school. And you're not an artist, though, are you an artist? He's an architect, right? Actually, he's an architect that was teaching a professor at the University of Miami at one time. Correct? Yes, and he's a fabulous guy, so I'm glad. Thank you, Najib, to be in the house. Prophet is next. I met Prophet through Summerhill 7. Where's my Summerhill? Summerhill's over here, and Summerhill was my guest at my last musing with Myra that we had over on the Black Asphalt in May. It was the end of the season.
Myra Wexler is my Miami mama.
And I met Prophet at a spoken word spit, as it were. That's the lingo. For you people not in the know. And I walked into Majestical Lips.
Yes.
Majestical Lips in Little Haiti. That was like wall-to-wall black humanity and your mama. And I was one happy lady. Prophet was there. He speaks a good word and is also an artist and very entrepreneurial, so thank you for coming. Lisa Schafter's in the house, and Lisa and I have history together going back to my babysitting days when she was our neighbor at Campo Sano in Coral Gables, where I grew up. And as an aside, this is also why Musing with Myra kind of came into being, because I am a native Miami girl. I grew up at Coral Gables, and I love witnessing the Renaissance. You know, there's a lot of issues and stuff going on, and I love to bring my friends together like the good old days on Miracle Mile at Howard Johnson's or John's Ice Cream Shop, where you went, you know, once a week or something, and you got to hang out and see people and connect. And connecting, this is a key word. The operative phrase is collaboration. Musing with Myra is totally about collaborating, that together, that all is possible. All really is possible to be able to accept and project that out to the world, because we need some good, positive acts of kindness in the community, visible in the community on a daily basis. There's so much bad stuff going down, and that's why I applaud a guy like Tony Goldman, who had a vision and came to Miami with some money to bring it to fruition here in the realm of the two restaurants. And I started my brilliant career in 2009 in front of Joey's with a table for two, writing about Art Basel. It had just opened, Joey's. This had not yet opened. This is now, that's 2 years old this December, and this is 1 year old. This is Carrie McClaney. I could do nothing with my yo mama-ing around town without that girl, and she is the thorn in my side on a daily basis. I'm so lucky, I'm so grateful. Carrie's the bomb. Okay, so moving right along. We have Shirley Rainey in the house, who is an artist also with a website and an author. She's doing a book that she illustrated beautifully, that she's written, a children's book. We have Jane Riley, I did a blank, who is a transplant but presently lives in Coral Gables. And these women are old supporters from when I was musing at Morgan's, which was where the Musing first started. So shout out to my girls, they're my loyal posse too, they really are. Behind them over there is Mark Diamond. He's my 3D photographer, deadhead friend, I call him.
Who is Myra Wexler?
She's right over there. No, I'm just kidding. I would say Myra is an international woman of mystery. She's the glue. She is the catalyst. She is the magnet for the art community. He
showed up for a musing at Morgan's, and I had said casual, and I had on all my jewels or whatever, and he showed up like with his tie-dye t-shirt, and he says, well, I like your casual. It was like something I said, well, you know, I'm the queen, I'm the empress, you know, I gotta look good. So, you know, that's another thing that tonight actually, I don't know if anybody happened to notice, Yo Mama's in the house. Let's hear it for Yo Mama. And I decided that really this is kind of like my performance piece of, oh, the bat mitzvah I wanted to have. Lisa, can you appreciate this? Lisa knows this, and these are the hard, cold facts. When I was 12 and a half and preparing to be bat mitzvah, my then 15-year-old brother was tragically killed in a hunting accident. And consequently, I was never bat mitzvahed. Lisa and her family were an integral part in that time in my life, so there's a lot of history here. And in any event, that I'm saying it not to elicit any kind of sympathy or tragedy, but how we all have our issues and our history and our baggage. Some of us have designer baggage, and some of us, you know, have regular baggage, but we're all on a journey. I'm so glad we're here together tonight. I'm going to stop talking and introduce Jane. She has quite a impressive history. You were in the know in Wynwood back in the day before Tony Goldman ever set foot here, when David Lombardi, who has Wynwood Lofts and is also, I don't know if he's still the president of the local Wynwood, what is it called? WADA, which is the Wynwood Art District. Right, Association. He's the president of that. He's also on the board of the Bakehouse, which is another wonderful art complex here that I support. But Jane Hart.
First of all, thank you all for coming. I see a few familiar faces and lots of new faces, which is always a lovely thing. And you know, really appreciate you all coming out tonight. And I really want to thank Myra, who through Facebook, reconnected with. I'm a big Facebook maven myself. I mean, they were just great days. They were, and really, for me, they were. I went to School of Visual Arts in New York. I studied with Jean when I was young. I went to Miami-Dade South through their art program and Robert Huff, and then back to the University of Miami, and actually never got a degree in art, even though I've lectured at everywhere. I've written for a number of publications, including ArtNet. I was one of the first contributors to ArtNet magazine. And I've basically had a life where, you know, if you name it in the art world, I've done it. And it all started because my parents really nurtured me as an artist, as a young person, and that started with being exposed, as I said, to these salons at Jean Masson's studio. So I'm really a big proponent for these kinds of gatherings and for people coming together in whatever way they can and sharing their creative spirit and their optimism and ideas for hope about how we can make changes for things in a positive way. Obviously, these are not the easiest times that we're living in, but I'm a tremendous idealist and a romanticist, I guess, so that's what drives me every day. And those of you who know me on Facebook know that I'm pretty vocal about it. So that being my background, I will say I did bring some catalogs, including the one for the show that's opening next week. And I'll just talk a little bit about sort of the trajectory of my life and working in the arts since coming back to Miami about 8 years ago. When I first moved back here, I had been living in LA. I had a very successful gallery in my home in LA, as well as a commercial storefront gallery, eventually just blocks from the LA County Museum, and very acclaimed gallery, but it had opened right after September 11th. And about a year and a half after opening the gallery and coming here to Miami for Art Basel for the first time, I decided that given there was this kind of hope and renewed possibility for doing what I did professionally and to be closer to my family and being in Miami, I left LA lock, stock, and barrel, sold my property there, and really gave up, you know, pretty much everything to come back here. And the first couple of years, I've had a couple of different gallery venues that were, you know, I think very positively received, but not necessarily financially successful. When I started at the center nearly 5 years ago, the center did about 4 exhibitions a year, and it cost more than what we spend now. And I think really that's a testament to some of the buzzwords that I will just say as someone who's worked in the arts in New York, London, Miami, and back here is collaboration being absolutely key, resiliency, resourcefulness, cooperation, you know, working with one another, and that's what makes it all happen. And I think if you can, you know, be diligent and work hard and embrace those concepts, you know, really the sky is the limit. I mean,
Also, you have your lemon.
well, I haven't really been.
You don't want to talk about that at all?
I'll mention it.
I think
Well,
it's-
finish what you were saying, and then I'll get into the whole.
What was I saying? Remind me. David Lombardi was one of the early pioneers here, and the smart guy that saw an opportunity and invested early, and he's got partners, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing if you drive. If I don't know how many of you have been up and down here where the Wynwood Walls are, it's a curated museum for artists of renown. Presently, there are 2 artists who are here from Mexico, but also from the Ukraine.
Down the street.
They're down the street, and all up and down every one of these streets. It's a remarkable thing what is appearing on the walls, and not only what's appearing on the walls, but when you open a door and walk into this, you know, barricaded place, you're transformed. It's remarkable. I want to give a shout out to James Eccles and Annette, oh God, Soul of Miami, who, by the way, they're out there on the street every night, every day, reporting it, shouting it out, documenting it, and being part of what's going down here on a very regular basis. You also recently got an actual job, did you not? Do you want to tell us about the job?
Okay, I started working for a company called EDC, Economic Development Consultants. We help people in economic development zones, which actually most of Wynwood and Design District is in. And we actually, this is one of our clients. And we help businesses in these areas get sales tax back for employees who live in those same zones. So if you know of anybody who owns a restaurant or anything in these areas, South Beach, downtown, Wynwood, and Design District, let me know and maybe we can help them get some money back.
Yeah. So there you have it. Then tell me who you are. Yes.
I'm Allison Parker. I'm launching the Hangar Arts Initiative on the 2nd.
Cool. Second and where?
2235 2nd, between 23rd and 24th.
And it's called
The Hangar.
The Hangar.
Initiative, yeah.
And tell me your name again.
Allison Parker.
Allison Parker. Are you a friend on Facebook with me or no?
I think I just. I don't know
Oh
if
well,
they sent
cool.
it
Well,
yet, but
I hope that you will, because really, another thing of note with Yo Mama and my musings is how since August a year ago I have discovered Facebook, and I'm testimony to the effectiveness of the power of the Yo, one love. Where's Joe Links? He's got that light in my face. My friend Joe Links. But yeah, Facebook is it, and life is easy if you can generate it on Facebook while they're still not charging, by the way. Okay, so welcome. Now, behind is Barry Fellman, and Barry I kind of know. I knew his family also growing up. You grew up in the Bay Heights area, did you? Or the Grove, the Gables? South Miami? Where'd you grow up? In that general vicinity. And what's the name of your space now? Say it? Center for Visual Communications. You're on Northwest. Next to the Margulies, are you? Yes. And Barry represents a lot of fabulous artists and photographers, and he's a guy that's respected in the community, for those of you that don't know him.
And we're doing the Wynwood Art Fair.
Also.
Along with some of the other people in the neighborhood. So that starts on Friday, the Wynwood Art Fair, which is a fundraiser, by the way, for Lotus House, which Constance Collins Margulies was one of my early guests at Jamming with Joey's when I did that. After that was my stint over there before I became musing at Morgan's, and now I'm musing with Myra. And enough about me. So next would be Miguel Rodez. Next to it's, yeah, that's Miguel, and Miguel is a fabulous artist. He's also a lawyer. He doesn't like me to tell people that, but I'm impressed with education, but he's done these inflatable giants. He's been part of that show that was exhibited, and
who is Myra Wexler?
Myra Wexler. She's everybody's mama.
Michael Mahoney, 305 Creative in the house. Oh, sorry. 305 Social Media. This is what happens to me, especially with Facebook, because I transpose, people, places, and things. Oh well, I'm doing the best I can. Thank you. So Michael's in the house, and John Mahoney. John Mahoney, who I met for the first time officially at the Bird Road Brad Art Walk. Where's Mano? Are they here? There's Mano and Cookie. Mano Fine Arts is in the house. We'll get to him in a minute.
Who is Myra Wexler?
Myra Wexler, a terrific person. Myra Wexler friended me on Facebook, and I knew of her, but I didn't know her personally. And I tell you, when I met her, she was fabulous, and she is fabulous. She she's an artist, I believe, but she really is an ambassador to all the artists. She's very supportive of the artists.
And next to Cookie is Vincent, and where's my man? Where's my little guy? Crash.
Your mama's sucker.
Crash. They come with their dad. On the street, he's known as Bad Panda. Let me tell you.
Bad panda.
Just want to know, who is Myra Wexler?
Myra's my mama.